There are times when the Lord lets a person know that despite how many resources you have invested in something, to just simply let it go. Now for some people, because it is the word of the Lord, be like, yes, Lord. And they'll cut their losses. But for others, they're just hell-bent. They're like, oh no, I have to do this. I have to get this. It's going to cost me too much. Or it's going to be embarrassing if I have to give up. It's going to be embarrassing if... To those who are like that, who is your God? Because some people have lost focus regarding what is most precious in their lives. So as you can see based on the title of this message, it's called Much More Than That. And the premise of this is based on 2 Chronicles 25, and I'll read from verses 1 through 9. Amaziah was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoadan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. Off to a great start. But not with a perfect heart. Now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, that he slew his servants that had killed the king his father. But he slew not their children, but did as it was written in the law in the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded, saying, the fathers shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers. But every man shall die for his own sin. Moreover, Amaziah gathered Judah together, and he made them captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, according to the houses of their fathers, throughout all Judah and Benjamin. And he numbered them from 20 years old and above, and found them 300,000 choice men, able to go forth to war, that could handle spear and shield. He hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. I pause. So he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem, which meant he was a king of Judah. Then he raised up an army and says 300,000 choice men able to go to war. But on top of the organic army, then he found, or he hired 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. So he had an army, he got some augmentees, and he had to pay a price for them. Now get this. But there came a man of God to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with thee, for the Lord is not with Israel, to wit, with all the children of Ephraim. But if thou wilt go, do it. Be strong for the battle. God shall make thee fall before the enemy, for God hath power to help and to cast down. I pause again. Second, but there came a man of God, so a prophet, and told the king, let not the army of Israel go with thee. So if Amaziah, if he went to battle, went with the Judeans, it was fine. But it wasn't okay to go with the Israelites. How many people are willing to partner with those whom God is against? But it says, but if thou wilt go, do it. Be strong in battle. But there's a warning. So if he took the Israelites with him, it wasn't going to go well, because the Lord was against them. And Amaziah said to the man of God, well, what shall we do for the 100 talents which I have given to the army of Israel? And this is a sticking point for many people. Again, because they paid a price. It may not have been money, but because they paid a price. For them, it's like the point of no return. Because they paid a price. Because they paid a price, they're willing to ignore the word of the Lord. Again, because they paid a price. Has anyone paid a price greater than Lord Jesus Christ, who gave himself up for us when we were yet sinners? And the man of God answered, the Lord is able to give thee much more than this. So a lot of times people, because they paid a price, and they're like, oh, I don't want to lose out on my investment. They forget the Lord is able to replace everything they have lost and even more. So it's clear, despite the price he had paid, the Lord could repay him. That is something many people are forgetting. They're simply thinking, I paid a price, so I must see this thing through to the end. I pay a price, so it cannot end like this. I pay a price, so it cannot end. And for some, the Lord has given them a hand to help them recover, to help them get something even more wonderful than they quote unquote lost. But it's like they smack away the hand of God because they paid a price. And for those who do that, you pay even more for price. But again, as the man of God said, the Lord is able to give thee much more than this. So no matter what you've paid a price for, if the Lord tells you let go, consider it. Remember, He's able to give you much more than anything that you lost. Now for those who continue, simply because they paid a price, it is also written in Matthew 16, verses 24 through 26. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whosoever shall save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Is there anything on this earth worth sacrificing your soul for? So yes, the Lord is able to give you much more than anything you invested in, anything you have lost or you're on the verge of losing. He's able to give you more. But if you disregard the word of the Lord and you want to keep on pursuing something because you paid a price for it, is it worth your soul? And there's an example of when put to the test in such a way. In Matthew 4, verses 8 through 10, it reads, Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. So Jesus, when given a choice that could have cost him his soul, in a manner of speaking, he refused. See, the devil offered him a way to get something. And yes, there's scriptures such as the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof and all kind of stuff. The earth belonged to God anyhow. But the devil offered him a way, in a sense, to get what Jesus had come to reclaim. See, for some people, the Lord told them no, but the devil is telling them yes. And they may think they can accept a yes from the devil, and it's not going to cost them. For some people, they're so blinded by what they may have invested so heavily in that they have lost or don't want to lose, that they are willing to go to the devil to get, retain, or regain that coveted item, which has become an idol. And they're willing to even go to the devil to get it because God said no. So when faced with a loss or potential loss, remember, God is able to give you much more than that. But if you open yourself up, the devil will also offer you a way, but the price will be more than you can pay.